Your Jeffrey friends need you. You remember those motherfuckers that you grew up with who play video games and do all the bad habits? They saw you get onto self-improvement and you might have noticed maybe some jealousy, some resentment, some hatred towards you because you started going to the gym and meditating and doing all this weird stuff that took you away from the instant gratification activities that they're all addicted to. And so it's so easy for us to say to abandon your Jeffrey friends. You've probably taken a big step back from that original friendship group and that might have been good for you, but they need you. And the superior man, the man like Adonis, helps his brothers. Just look at those spurgs. They're kind of cute, aren't they? Adonis. Adonis, of course, helps his tribe grow. Even the weakest link of the tribe, the Jeffrey of the tribe, gets Adonis's attention. For Adonis knows that your success in leadership is measured by your bottom line, not by the top. I've had two stages in my life where I've kind of abandoned previous friends. The first was in the transition from high school to college, about age 16 to 17, when I used to play video games. And when I started weightlifting, I simply had less time to play video games. Eventually, I started attracting girls, getting more confident, and I started going out and drinking. And so I completely just lost touch with my original group of friends that I used to play League of Legends with. Fast forward a few years and I have a pop-in social circle inside of the degenerate party scene. And that's when I'm hit with an existential crisis because I'm tired of being a fucking loser. I'm tired of drinking half a liter of vodka before we go out to drink. If you're not from the UK, you might not know that this is a thing. We drink before we go out to drink. How fucking weird is that? We're crackheads here. And this is crackhead drinking, bro. Imagine buying the liter of vodka bottle for you and your friends. The bottle's this big for £20, $25. And you and your one friend drink it before you go out to drink. I mean, there were some fun times. We'd be drinking whilst both of us had gaming PCs. So we'd be on Fortnite, just dropping kids and sniping and shit. So obviously it was fun. But then I got dreams of entrepreneurship, doing something with my life and wanting to level up my physique. And so I took a step back from that. I left those friends behind too. I think I did make the right decision, but perhaps I could have went about it in a way that showed more character and made me take more responsibility. I could have tried to help my friends more. You might be watching this video and thinking, no, you don't have to take responsibility of the Jeffrey friends. And the truth is, you don't have to. Lesser men won't. You must decide what kind of man you want to become. You've already started making progress away from being a Jeffrey, and that's fantastic. So now you're a normal guy. Congratulations. You're average. Maybe you're a little bit above average. Nice. If you want to stop there, then I mean, you can. I'm not going to respect you. You're probably not going to respect yourself, but you can stop. Or we can progress to be more like Adonis. And do you remember Adonis's 5 principles? The last principle, and perhaps the most important one in this context, was the principle of leadership. That once you become disciplined and you've had a student mindset and you're present and grateful and you've made great progress in your self-improvement, now is the time to lead your boys to go through the same process that you've been through. That's truly where the biggest growth comes from. Imagine where I would be right now. Imagine where I would be if I didn't make this YouTube channel, if I was just doing my self-improvements alone, invisible to the world. Truly imagine this right now. You probably know a lot about my story, my life. Imagine if I just stayed low-key as you might be doing, and I never made this channel to try and lead other people. What you are watching right now and what you have been watching for a little while is my practice of leveling up my leadership so that I can be more like Adonis. And think about how much that this has changed my life. Think about how much this has increased my self-improvement. I've taken on more responsibility by doing this. And of course it's hard at times, but think about how rewarding it's been for me. Perhaps it's time for you. Perhaps it's your turn. Do not abandon your Jeffrey friends. If you are currently linked with them right now, I guarantee at least one of them would take your advice. One of them would follow your leadership if you go about it the right way. You have been in their position. You've been addicted to the same substances as them. And whether they've said it or not, at least one of those guys looks up to you. He's seen the progress that you've made. He just might not have the confidence to message you and tell you that he's proud of you, but he probably does feel it. So congratulations, you've climbed to the top of the bucket. Nice. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to jump off the bucket and go live your life alone? Or are you going to turn back around and reach your hand out and grab those little crabs at the bottom and bring them up? You've heard the analogy, your bad friends are the bottom of the bucket crabs who pull you down. Well, why don't you be the opposite of that? Why don't you stand at the top of the bucket and pull your friends up? You know exactly what you must do. You know exactly which habits would help your friends the most. Perhaps you're just uncertain how to go about actually leading them and talking in a way that would get them to follow your influence, because that's actually kind of tricky. Sure, you might be some kind of a role model because of the progress that you've made, but the exact words that you say and how you say them are truly important, because you could just change a small sentence and someone may follow you or may not. Now is the time to specifically be thinking about leveling up your leadership skill. Leadership is a skill, just like the skills in video games that we used to level up. RuneScape and like League of Legends and stuff. You do the actions, you get XP, and you level up in the skill. Right now you have a low level in the leadership skill, but it doesn't have to stay like that. To level up your leadership skill, just like everything else, you have to start with education, learn more about leadership, read books on leadership. The book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and also all books by John C. Maxwell are fantastic for this. If you don't want to read the entire books, you can read really good summaries of them on a website called Shortform, and I'll link that at the top of the description. Scroll down right now and click on that Shortform link. After you learn and get some insights, it's time to practice. Try and implement a few of the things that you've just learned, and then get into consistent training. Making a self-improvement YouTube channel is probably the best, the single way to power level your leadership skill. It's absolutely insane how much this could do for you. Every limiting belief that you have right now, that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, and that you're not really good on camera, it's all just your Jeffrey brain just being lazy. You won't agree with me right now because you have like a small mindset and you're like, you're so certain that you're right because you don't have any humility and like you've got a massive ego and you think that yep I can't be good at YouTube. Just shut up, bro. Oh, but I'm not ready yet. I'm not. Shut up, bro. Just shut up. You don't need to be at the ultimate position. Leadership isn't about being at the absolute top, because we can't really relate to those guys here. The reason why you've probably followed my journey and been following these videos is because you can relate to me, because I'm not actually that far ahead of you. Imagine like a complete nerd who's never been to the gym before, and then one of his nerd friends goes to the gym for 3 months, compared to Ronnie Coleman. Out of the nerd who went to the gym for 3 months and Ronnie Coleman, who's going to give this nerd better advice, more accurate, relatable advice? Of course, the other nerd. You only need to be one step in front of other people to lead them. So exactly where you are right now is the right time to start leading. And perhaps the only reason you've held off on this is because you don't feel like it. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Dumbass. Mwah.